often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all?
I believe that these extraterrestrial vehicles and their crews are visiting this planet from other planets, which obviously are a little more technically advanced than we are here on Earth.
We can be proud that we are in very good company entertaining the possibility that UFOs are coming from outer space.
This is Mission Control, Houston. Once again, we believe we were just able to spot the Mir spacecraft as it flies about 850 nautical miles behind Discovery.
Scientific skeptics are trying to convince us that no living being can survive the tremendous accelerations and sharp turns of UFOs due to great G-loadings, but scientific experiments tell us a different story. It is proven that a trained man can withstand up to 14 Gs for 2 minutes, and for 1 second, even 30 Gs is not dangerous. There were experiments during the Korean War to lift men up from the ground by rope from airplanes. They were exposed to an amount of 50 Gs for a fraction of a second, and they lived. The only real problem is that we do not have the propulsion systems to achieve such flight performances as UFOs.
You know, 500 years ago, when we learned we are not the center of the universe, the reaction was the birth of the age of science, the age of discovery, the age of reformation, the age of democracies, republics, new political thinking, and so on and so far.
Our history is littered with scientific misassumption. Let's take a look at the history. Stevenson was told no one could survive in a moving train when the speed surpassed 40 kilometers per hour. When they did, in fact, live, the unanimous opinion of the doctors was that nobody could survive the tunnel voyage. It sounds absurd now, but those were respectable predictions. At the beginning of this century, it was mathematically proven that only an object lighter than air could not fly. The Wright brothers took off only a few months later. Tsiolkovsky was told that cargo could not be pushed into the Earth's orbit. We now know this is wrong. In the 1940s, the necessary weight of a rocket needed to put one man on the moon's surface and return to Earth was estimated at 1,000 billion tons. A little bit more than 20 years later, 3 men arrived there and back with only 3,000 tons. Do we nowadays know everything about space travel? We still do it by chemical propulsion, but are there other possibilities? What about electromagnetic propulsion provided by nuclear reactors?
Nuclear systems like that have been shown to be very safe, very reliable. They decrease slowly. The half-life of plutonium is sufficiently long, so there's very little degradation. And it's a no-moving parts system, which is very attractive. So I don't think there's any particular connotation with that. There are people who get very upset. There are people who will lie and say plutonium is the most deadly substance known to man. Nerve gas will outdo and botulism. There's a whole bunch of other things. And plutonium is heavy and dense and can't go anywhere. It's not a gas, and you can detect it very readily. It's not nice stuff. I wouldn't eat a lot of it anyway. People have it. But I take on the anti-nukes at every opportunity.
When you consider the equation of Einstein, the energy and the materia are exactly equal. Then the only problem we have, the doubt we have, is are we able to control this energy and to transform this energy in material or vice versa?
Is there really a need to do everything by ourselves? Or maybe we could afford a hitchhiking system to get to distant places?
You see, our future is inextricably tied with space. We will migrate, we will grab an asteroid or 2 or 3, we will colonize.
Have we learned everything about cosmic mechanism? Well, I don't think so. We are still arguing on the general structure of the universe. Yes, we have learned that planets are orbiting the sun. We also know that the whole solar system is traveling in the galaxy at approximately 230 kilometers per second. Therefore, the elliptical path of our planet is just apparent. The real path through the space is an elongated curve on which the speed of the planet changes from 200 kilometers per second to 260 kilometers per second as Earth travels at one time in the same direction as the solar system and then in the opposite. Could we use this tremendous difference to propel us from the surface? Besides, if we take a look at the diagram, we could see points of intersection of planetary paths. Those points are the places in cosmic through which two planets pass at different times. Could we use this knowledge and do kind of a surfing on planetary waves?
We need to recognize we're not the big shots in the neighborhood. I find it no coincidence at all that in July 1947, the only place on the entire planet where you could study all three of those technologies was southeastern New Mexico. The first nuclear weapon was exploded at Trinity Site on the grounds of the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. That same place, White Sands, was the place where the Americans were firing captured German V-2 missiles. And that's where they had their best radar to keep track of the missiles, which often didn't go where they were supposed to go. Roswell was the home of the only atomic bombing group in the entire world, the 509. So I don't think it's a coincidence. The first Soviet weapon wasn't exploded until 1949, incidentally. You can say it's just a coincidence. It's a very big planet. It seems more than coincidence that this would be the area where things happen. That also makes it the easiest place in which you can cover up something. The Manhattan Project, most of its work was in New Mexico. Security was in place. Two of the three U.S. nuclear weapons labs are in New Mexico. So the largest single employer in New Mexico is Kirtland Air Force Base. The military presence is huge, and the scientific presence is huge. So I don't think it's a surprise that they were here. And I think their basic purpose, in other words, is to make sure that we can't go out until we get our act together, until there's somebody who speaks for planet Earth. If you were an alien, I don't think you'd want Earthlings out there.
Invece si potrebbe pensare